it does that. That you go on and you can't, and you go on mute. That's so weird. Oh, I think YouTube just likes to play ha-has with me. I don't know. It might be my service this morning. No, I doubt it because I got full service. But you know, there. No, I look young. I look young again. I don't look so old. Oh, that was weird. Wait for some people to show up and then have a conversation with them, I guess. But maybe want to talk about serious things. YouTube's like, nope, you can't be serious on the YouTubes. We're gonna keep you muted, and that is all it is to it. And you're like, man, come on, YouTubes, don't be like that. Don't be overly aggressive and community moderator, automatic chat translator, top message filter, and all that jazz. I don't know. Really weird. Well, no. I'm gonna have to get my tablet and start doing this on the tablet. That way I can communicate with the chat and ask more questions and be able to have more conversations, I guess. And what do you do? I don't know. So I guess people will come back and we will find out. I mean, you try to do the sign language thing. Can you hear me? And apparently nobody can just answer a simple question of yes or no. But so I mean, you think just human nature would be if you can't hear a YouTuber, you'd be like, hey, you have no sound. You wouldn't let them go for 30, 45 minutes with them just chitter chatting. You reading lips. You think you'd just be like, hey, you got no sound, man. And then the YouTuber would be like, oh, hey, okay, then I'll just reset the stream and try again. Big deal. people, people, what you gonna do? I don't know. So, hey, Xavier, good morning. Hey, BS, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Anything exciting going on today on a grumpy Friday? No? Maybe? Could be? Yeah? Hmm? So, but back to what I was originally saying, though. But apparently my last live stream had no sound. Hopefully you guys can hear me this time. Can everybody hear me? Just a calm day. Perfect. But like I was saying earlier, my last live stream, you're going to the zoo. Man, I want to go to the zoo. I like to go see the monkeys. The monkeys are amazing because they throw poop at you. You always just got to grab that random person, just put them in front of you, make them a target at the at the at the old Zooey Zoo. I like going to the Portland Zoo because the Portland Zoo they have a big train. Well, it's kind of a micro train, but it goes all the way around the zoo. And hey, Kevin, it's cool as hell that because they got multiple trains and they just kind of drag you around the whole zoo and you can see all the exhibits. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Portland Zoo or not, but it's really cool that I really just like riding the trains. I mean, I like going and seeing the animals and everything, but I just go to ride the trains because I'm just a big kid at heart, because it's fun. But I like the polar bears. I want to go see the polar bears in real life. I don't want to see them behind the glass. I kind of like just to go. Tacos are my favorite food. But no, I think that I want to go up to the north and I want to go see the polar bears in real life. I think that'd be a lot more fun. See them in their natural habitat instead of behind the glass. But that's just me though. So maybe I'll take a slow person with me and I'll just tie a tuna fish around their neck and watch them run across the ice and see if the polar bear will chase them. Because man, I think they run like at 35 miles an hour, don't they? So I know I'm not going to try to outrun a polar bear because I think I got top speed of like 2.5 miles an hour. I mean, I probably get the fat momentum going, and just kind of hit the belly and woo, take off turbo speed. But No, I think I top out like 2.5, maybe 3 miles an hour. What's the old saying? You just gotta be able to outrun the person behind you. Yeah, that ain't happening with Grumpy. And polar bears aren't like grizzly bears, or you can't just lay down and play dead. Oh, I'm dead. You won't eat me. And black bears, they'll chase your butt up a tree. AZH, which hopefully my favorite animal is a penguin. Penguins are cool, and we're like ice penguins are like warm climate penguins. What kind of penguins? They weigh about 2 Vendy machines. Well, I'm not trying to take them home with me, man. I don't want them to be like bear snuggling or anything like that. I just want to go up and watch them because, I mean, because even the state where I'm in Washington, I mean, I've gone up and checked out the big kitty cats up in the mountains. The big kitty cats are interesting. You kind of got to keep your distance from the big kitty cats, though. Sometimes they get a little overly aggressive. But are you looking for handouts? No, I'm looking for hugs and likes. I mean, you can keep your money in your pocket because I'm not going to beg anybody for a penny, you know. But am I free? I mean, I have been known to give myself away to people, willingly. So I guess I'm free. I don't know in that aspect. But no, I'm not. I'm not on YouTube begging for money. I'm just trying to have a conversation on a Friday, Olivia. I mean, if that makes any sense to you, but am I free? Am I free? Yes, I'm free of charge. Here you are playing RTD2. RTD2? I want anything for free. Yeah, that's the problem with society. They want everything for free. Nothing's free. Well, I'm free right now on the YouTubes. You can come watch me for free and just come and enjoy Grumpy's Hangout. Interact into the conversation. Got to make Fridays fun somehow. Exactly, Xavier. Exactly. No, I do want to get down to into the South Atlantic, though. I want to see the king penguins. I think that'd be cool. But some of those beaches are protected, though. You can't just go harass the penguins. Kind of like sea turtles. You're not allowed to pick up their babies and put them in the water. You gotta watch them get annihilated by the seagulls and things. We have weird rules. But what do you do? But I guess it is what it is. What state are you from? I'm from Washington. Good old evergreen state. Because we got evergreen pine trees that if we'd stop letting them burn, they'd stay green forever. Just a general fact. And what state are you from? Ken Kid Edits. And I really got to get my eyeball so I can make the chat bigger. You would not believe, when you're trying to read words like that, sometimes your eyes go bigger. Ohio! I know a lot of people from Ohio. I mean, a lot of nice people from Ohio. It's a good state. I like Ohio. My daughter wants us to move to Ohio. I'm contemplating it. West Virginia's pretty. I like West Virginia. Iowa, you're in the Corn Belt state. Iowa's a rolly state. I always say it's flat, but Iowa's not flat. It's a rolly state. It's kind of like Arizona. Everybody who says Arizona's a flat state have never been to Arizona. Like the whole top half of Arizona's canyons and hills and mountains. I mean, yeah, once you get down to Phoenix, it's flat down towards Mexico. But Arizona's a very mountainous state. A lot of canyons, a lot of cool rocks in Arizona, where the big boulders are stacked on each other. Have you ever heard from the Mothman? I've heard about the Mothman. I've never seen the Mothman. Well, I guess I've watched those documentaries, kind of like the skin people and the Yeti and the Chupacabra and the Bigfoot. But I did think I found Bigfoot prints once over towards Goldendale, Washington. I think me and a couple of my friends, we found Bigfoot prints, but I'm not going to be like, hey, they were Bigfoot prints. They were just prints I've never seen up in mountains, and they weren't recognizable prints from any animal I've seen in tracking. So I'm not going to be on that. Bigfoot is real. Could be. I don't know. We've got a lot of undiscovered animals that we keep finding in the world lately. New fish species, new reptile species, you know. So, have you ever heard? No, you already asked me that question. But, I don't know. I kind of think of like this. If you've had so many eyewitnesses of a creature before, even before TV happened, maybe the creature exists, you know. Because it's like dragons. We used to be calling them dragons. Now science calls them dinosaurs. So are they a dragon or are they a dinosaur? You know, man likes to change words and likes to rename things to fit their definition of what something should be. So, could there have been dragons? Possibly, because we have skeletons of huge lizard creatures. So why couldn't there have been dragons? We got mini dragons. Why couldn't there have been big dragons? You know, my name is Kelly. All right. We're going to work on that one today. I like Kevin better. It's easier to pronunciate, I think, in the long run on that one today. So we don't set my dyslexia on turbo mode, trying to sit there and stuttering about trying to. Kelly, oh well, that's all right. We'll figure it out. But, so what is everybody else up today? Anything going on? Everybody working, playing around, having fun? Mm-hmm. Anything to be grumpy about today? You already said hi, Kevin. Unless you came back, but oh, I think there's always something to be. Oh, my sister made me a theme song, and I just got to hook it to a video so I can have an intro video. I got to figure out how to do that now. But yeah, I got a theme song now. Grumpy's Hangout has a theme song. I'm excited about that. That's kind of cool as hell. I'm gonna got to figure out how to hook it to a AI video. So when before my video starts, it'll play out. It'll be kind of cool. So it kind of fits my personality. You know. I think everybody should have a theme song video before their video starts. I think that's kind of an entertaining, just kind of catches people's attention and things. But I don't know. I'm weird. What can I do? There's no help for me, so I just stay grumpy because there's no help for me. There ain't a therapist in this world that could make me normal again. And being normal is kind of boring. Who wants to be normal? What is your favorite game? Like video game? I like building games where you just build stuff and like blow it up and crap. I mean, just kind of my favorite game. I used to play. Oh, what the hell is it called? It was on the computer. It was Emperors of Kings, the original, not the weird one they play now on your phone. But well, you had edit mode on there, and I used to build big kingdoms and build my enemies up, and so we could have bigger wars, and then I'd go and I'd make my own forts and forest trees and rivers. It was actually, I spent weeks on building a battlefield just to annihilate my enemies. It was kind of cheating, really. I mean, because I had a limited amount of money and all the armies I could muster up to in a battle, but you know, I wasn't playing to lose. I was playing just to create. Well, my cousin back in the early '90s, he had a Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo? I think it was a Super Nintendo. He had this God game where you'd build villages and things like that, and you could send down the lightning and the thunder, and you could catch the villagers on fire. I can't remember the name of the game, but it was kind of a cool game, and you just continue on. You'd build one village, and you'd continue on the map and build another village, and give them farms and technology and all that. But it was just the fact that you send a plague down to them, you could just blow them up. It was kind of evil, I guess, but I mean, it was the '90s. What do you expect? There's one online. Yeah, I mean they have a phone version, but it's not as cool as the computer version. The computer version you could do so much more And, oh shit, I lost my pen. Well, you know, there goes my writing abilities today. I got no pen no more. My daughter plays a whole bunch of different video games. She won't let me play, so I don't know. It's just between her and her friends. They play a whole bunch of online games, and I know I spend a lot of money for the games. Kind of like I want to play, you know. If I'm going to pay for it, I want to play the game. No, that's that's not how the real world works. I guess you just get to buy stuff and not enjoy and enter. Have you played World of Warcraft? I have not. My sister did though. My sister was really big in World of Warcraft. You know, I mean, I have other hobbies that I do, but I mean, I've played the Xbox and stuff with an Xbox One with the kids and not really uh, regular, but I think my favorite game I like to play though was 7 Days to Die. I like to go and upgrade a house, and I have no idea. I'd have to ask her. I don't think she's played in 10 years, but I'd have to ask her. So she was top. She was high up on World of Warcraft. She was up there and killing people and stuff. But I like 7 Days to Die because you build a little fort and the zombies come in and you eradicate the zombies and you get bored with that house and you travel on to another section of the map and find a different house to build up. If you start in just regular mode, you have to build clothes and find guns and bow and arrows and build axes and things. Or you can just go in creator mode, just have everything and have landmines and dirt bikes and so it's that's on how you want to play the game, I guess. I mean, that's my thought to it. Kind of like Minecraft. I like Minecraft. You know, I have started on just regular Minecraft where you got to build everything and put all the blocks together and build crafting tables and I mean, man, I like simple games because I'm a simple person. I guess we can put it that way. So, yeah. Oh, it was really weird. I was watching the news this morning. I know the news is scary, right? But I was listening to these anchors, and they're telling our adversaries that they should like want to hate us more. It's like I don't think news outlets should be like causing conflicts with other countries that have nuclear weapons. I don't think that was in their job description. I think they should just report on the news and get their best estimated guess on what's going on, but not pissing off our adversaries like Russia and China. Have you beaten the dragon in Minecraft? And the Martin Eric and I can't think what it's called now. We go to the other world in Minecraft and where they is that what you're talking about, Kevin? I think so. And the end of world or whatever the hell it is called. But what are you up to today, Kevin? Or shit, Eric? Mm, well, that was weird. Brain dysfunction. What are you gonna do? They're reading and talking and everything, but I think I'm gonna ground myself from the news for a while because they got nothing really good to say. You know, go back to doing other things in life, more entertaining, fun things. Yeah, I don't know about you. I'm good. I'm good, Eric. I'm good. I got me a theme song. Now, my sister made me a theme song for Grumpy's Hangout, and I just gotta get it all hooked up to an AI video. It's gonna be my intro video with my new song. It's kind of cool. I like it. Kind of fits my personality a little bit. So, instead of the video just popping right on, it'll play for it'll go for about 15, 20 seconds, and then we'll start the show. I think you know bring some more people in just to watch the intro. And then they'll see my fat face and be like, ah! And they'll run away. And then yesterday I was so bored, so I made an interesting vampire creature on a short clip. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but I guess it's all in your humor. How you like it? There was this. I think it was a rock star that I was trying to mimic it in with the video, but I don't know. Gloomy weather today here. It was supposed to be warm and sunny today, but it's cloudy and overcasted and chilly wind. I don't know. I think the weatherman keeps lying to us, at least on eastern side of Washington. But I don't think they're really getting their weather correct this time of year. But I shouldn't complain because here in about 2 months it'll be so ungodly freaking hot that it won't really be enjoyable. So, and I need to start cutting some sagebrush out and making some fire lines just in case we have another couple more big fires this year. So, well, I mean they use the satellites to watch the weather. I mean, unless the satellites are lying to them, I don't really know how that would. I mean, they go to school to be weathermen to predict the weather. You know, and I didn't think they even predict the weather anymore. I think they just go off what the satellite says, and what the jet streams and all that's going to. So, well, I do miss the days of the cute weather girl channels, though. I mean, now they just put guys on there. They used to have the hot weather girls, so you really wanted to know what the weather was doing. now they're just playing with the guys. I mean, they'll just hire anybody anymore to, you know, you know what I mean, though, Eric? They got rid of all the pretty hot weather girls. I think that's why everybody was watching the weather. You know, that's probably why nobody watched CNN because they got no pretty girls on CNN or MSNBC or. did you? Uh, did you watch that word exchange they had up there in Canada where they had to give speaking cards to people and then the people that had speaking cards were having complete mental breakdowns over it? That was entertaining to watch. That you can't just have a diversity. Diversity's a bunch of bull punky. But I was watching that and I was watching these people melt down because I had my go. What the heck? No, never heard. Yeah, they were having having some kind of congressional meeting up there, and they were giving the rainbow community speaking cards and who got to go first, and it was like a jump over the line of. And these people were like having meltdowns because they didn't get to go first. It's like, wait your turn. You're not that freaking important. You got your special card. Just enjoy that you feel special for 5 seconds in life. I don't know, but it was really weird. I was like, man, that's just, you know, I kind of, what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to go start report, actually going and to these, yeah, basically. Now, we got to stop calling them liberals because every human on earth is 50-50. You have conservative views and you have preliminary liberal views on certain things. They're progressives. They're weirdo progressives and they're dangerous because I mean we all have liberal views on certain subjects. So I mean we can't call them liberals anymore because the old school liberals, they weren't that bad. These new progressive people, they're scary. But I say the same thing about some of our righty brothers that are so far to the extreme right that they've lost touch of reality. That the only difference between the two is only the far left is burning down cities and attacking people. The far right is just preparing to go to war on everything. So One's preparing and stocking up on things, and the other one's trying to cause the conflict. So it's like you people are all nutty, you know. Sad thing is they're gonna drag everybody else into their disagreements, and that's the scary part. But it's all right. I'll go get me a battle axe and we'll go play, you know, or be like that guy on oh, not Zombie Land, but with Rick Grimes and all them. He had, well, Rick did. Rick had the 45, but the guy that had the baseball bat with the nails and the barbed wire, I'll just make me up a couple clubs and we'll see how far that gets us. To battle we go with the Beatles, you know. Just, I guess I divorced my battle axe, so I guess I'd have to find me a new battle axe to take the battle with me, right? My first ex-wife. I've never seen anything weird in the sky at night down there. Actually, on my other property, on my other property, just about 35 miles down the road from me, um, there is a weird green glowing light that pops up in the night sky and spins around really fast and then disappears. It's only up there for about 5 minutes, but yeah, I got a recording of it somewhere. I mean, my phone I recorded with is the camera sucked it, so it's just like a blurry green light. But yeah, it's weird. It's an orb that comes up out of the ground and spins around and it just disappears. It's up there for about 5 minutes and it clear as day. I mean, you can ask my son. My son's seen it too. I mean, we got a recording of it. It was crazy crap. But yeah, that's on my other property, about 35 miles down the road. And I've seen some. I've done a lot of extensive traveling, even down like Arizona. I've seen lights in the skies. And am I going to call them UFOs? Am I going to call them aliens? I don't know. But that light was it for the 3 years we were out there. It was a natural occurrence that happened all the time. A big green orb would come up and it'd spin around in the sky and then just disappear as fast as it came. So I don't know. But yeah, it's a regular occurrence that comes out. But I don't. I'm not going to say it's an extraterrestrial. It could be some military thing. Yeah, I got a video. I got to find it. I think it's on one of my broken phones. Come from a lake or a pond? No, just come out of the dirt, just right off the mountainside, just bloop. And I mean, it'd probably make more sense if it came out of the lake, because if you go down to Florida, to the Gulf, they're seeing lights all the time underwater, big vessels underwater. Hey, doggy kid. So, are we alone in this world? I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if we weren't. I mean, I'd like to be like Captain Kirk and go find me an alien broad to do the knocking boots with. what, what do you do? Uh, and I know most men would probably agree with me. They'd see some green alien woman going, she's kind of hot. What the hell? you know? Uh, and hey, who knows? We probably have interbreeding species for the last couple thousand years of aliens and humans and whatnot's going on. We'd never know because nobody tells us anything. They like to keep us mushrooms. They like to keep us in the dark and feed us manure all the time. Starting to get that one very clear on the news outlets. They like to give you that subliminal message. Listen to what we're saying and you will believe us. And you're like, I don't believe you in a damn thing you say. you know? Man. I think the coolest place I've ever been was Gravity Hill. It's in Prosser, Washington. There's a weird magnetic pulse there. So you can actually park your car, put it neutral, and it'll literally drag your car. It's kind of cool. So those orbs are Trumpy. I've seen a few videos there going into the ocean. Yeah, I mean, if you have so many people, it's like Bigfoot and things. If you, and you know, and I got to think about it because you know every time they see an extraterrestrial lights or something like that, there's always a Bigfoot sighting shortly afterwards within the near vicinity. So maybe Bigfoot's just a hairy alien. You know, he should probably learn how to put pants on though, because you know, have a little discreetment. You know, cover up, Mister Bigfoot. Nobody wants to say your Bigfoot dome. But that's just my PC thought of the day. Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, cover it up, Bigfoot. Have some couth. Have a little bit of personal, you know, unless that's their spacesuit. You know, our luck, Bigfoot's just like this little 4 foot tall green Martian guy, and the Bigfoot suits just their, you know, like their impossible robot, like Men in Black, where had that little 3-inch alien, you know, in the head. That'd probably be our luck, you know. Just Bigfoot's really just this little tiny gray or green alien in this big old huge suit. It's just a little protective battle suit. But because you know, even on a lot of the Bigfoot videos you see, they're not anatomically correct anyways. Normally they're just, is it Easter weekend there? I think Easter. It might be this weekend. I thought it was next week. I thought my daughter's birthday was this week. Was on Easter. It could be Easter weekend. Is it Good Friday today? I have to look. There hasn't been a lot of holidays. Have been really weird here in the States lately. You know, they used to be really big on, you know, saying, hey, holidays are coming up, big fadashels and all that, but big padaz and all that. Last 10 years, holidays just really kind of drowned out around here. Nobody makes a big deal about holidays anymore. I know my daughter was born on Easter, and my son was born on Mother's Day. I'm unfortunate to share my birthday with Tom the Turkey. There's a, I mean, I couldn't have a cool birthday like Christmas or something like that. No, I got to share mine with a turkey. So it's all right, but. So I just say we're a bunch of happy holiday people. Tom the Turkey, you know, gobble gobble, Tom the Turkey. The Thanksgiving turkey guy's Tom. But oh, here's a weird one for you. It's like Frankenstein. Technically, Frankenstein was a doctor, not the monster. That was Frankenstein's monster. But everybody calls the monster Frankenstein. He wasn't Frankenstein. He was just the monster. Frankenstein was the doctor. I've always thought that one was they really screwed that one up in animation. You know, even in cartoons, it's like they totally went side. Well, you got the Easter bunny, not the Easter turkey. I mean, I guess you could eat turkey on Easter, but I know my first ex-wife killed the Easter bunny on Easter Day. She ran him over with her car. Oh, she was so distraught about this. Like, I killed the Easter bunny. Don't tell the kids. I'm like, okay, I promise I won't tell the kids that you ran over the Easter bunny on Easter. I mean, I guess okay if Santa Claus runs over Granny on Christmas, but don't run over the Easter bunny. You know. Now he didn't. Her Jeep was so heavy, he didn't feel in it. It was an instantaneous just splat, you know. But yeah, it's kind of horrible though. This message is held for review. I wish YouTube would stop holding my messages and just let my messages be read. Come on, YouTube. I don't need you to babysit me or babysit my viewing audience. Just let them say what they want to say. You know, I kind of want to read some of these inappropriate messages they write. They might humor the hell out of me. You know. But I don't need a babysitter. I mean, if I want to time people on, I got the timeout button. Just bloop, timeout. You were bad. You're grounded for 5 to 10 minutes. You know. I don't need YouTube to do it for me. I guess I'm not an adult anymore, and I can't make my own decisions on my own YouTube. They, they're watching me. But probably after I get monetized. They are. YouTube censors the chat when you first start. They have an AI guy that comes on and automatically removes messages. I think once I get moved over to the laptop though, and I can do more because you get more accessories on the more choices and apps on the when you're using a laptop versus using your telephone to do live streams. I think he'll remove the YouTube won't be. I think it's just a phone um, part where they automatically do it because they don't do it on the laptop, just on the cell phone. You got a lot of. I mean, they give you a lot of. I'm learning every day. What's like I found the YouTube specific music you can use to make short clips with. And I was trying to make a short clip using the YouTube appropriate music where they're only 1 minute long, so you don't get the stupid copyright hit against you. I couldn't get, and it's probably because I was using my cell phone. If I was using a laptop, I probably could have connected the two together, but it just wouldn't let me make the video with the music and the dancing creature that I was trying to put together. So I don't know. It is a learning process. Trying to make better short clips, get more viewers and more subscribers. Yes. I mean, I think 2,000 views yesterday. So that's not too bad. I mean, I'll be excited when I start getting up to like 50, 60, 70, 100,000 views a day. You know, I probably have to start playing a lot more videos and things and make my content a little bit more exciting for people. Maybe I'll just do like those kids do, just get me a watermelon and a bag of rubber bands and oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, some of these YouTubers they've been on for years to get their viewer base. It's not like it just. They do say though that there is that magical video that you make or that magical post that you make. You could get 1 million views overnight and become YouTube famous. I haven't found that special video yet. I mean, hell, I made a gay vampire and I couldn't get people to watch it. So you got 100+ views. I mean, it's all right. But it wasn't really a gay vampire. It was supposed to be a girly vampire, but I made it a little feminine, and it was a little weird. But sometimes I have a lot of humor, and I like to humor myself, and I like to make silly videos that try to get people's attention. But and it really depends on your headliner, because so on YouTube they have specific little categories where it depends on how you write your headline. It pushes you out to those different areas where more people are viewed at. So, thought about live streaming your farm work. I've been thinking about that, but I got to clean up though a little bit more before I start filming the farm because I got to get the tractors put together and I've been slowly cleaning up garbage piles. I make burn piles and then when my dumpster's empty, I'll take that garbage pile and I'll fill the dumpster up. But you end up collecting things over the years and you don't really think. I wasn't really thinking about making a YouTube anyways. But then my now ex-friend, she talked me into creating my own YouTube because she's like, "You're going to be YouTube famous," and I'm like, "All right, I'm going to try it out then." But I've watched a lot of those farming YouTubes and off-gridders and the fishing videos and the how-to survivalist and like the outdoor boys. I like the outdoor boys. That was kind of cool. Because the main reason I like the outdoor boys is because you actually learn. He actually explained how to do things. It wasn't like Bear Grylls where if you did happen 90% of the stuff Bear Grylls did in the wild, you're gonna die. It was Bear Grylls was like the extreme of extremeness on survival, I'm not jumping off a 200-foot cliff into a pool that I have no idea how deep that pool is. That's how you break legs and necks and backs and right. I mean, he might have been was he British or Australian? I mean, special forces. So yeah, I mean, the guy was used to, and he had a full medical team and a helicopter set and ready. I mean, so if he got hurt, they whisked his butt to the hospital ASAP. You know, if you were riding out in the wilderness, we are not gonna jump off 100. I mean, I've jumped off tall train bridges and that into big rivers, you know, but I'm not gonna jump into a little tiny pool, not knowing if there's jagged rocks or a tree down there and end up like where he got stung in the chest by a stingray. Oh, Steve Irwin, you know. There's certain things, you know. Real life reality's not like the movies. You just can't do. And you have thrill seekers, you know, that like just go out and get their endorphins up doing some crazy things. But exactly. There was a guy in Benton City, Washington, and this has been like 25 years ago. He was jumping off a train bridge, an old train bridge, and there was a dead cow was floating down the Yakima River, and he jumped off the bridge, he went right through that cow and got sharpoobled by the rib cage, and they had to. I think he lived. I'm pretty sure he lived, but you really got to watch what you're. Yeah, he jumped right into a dead cow just floating down the river, so you really got to watch what you're doing, and you should always have a spotter, especially if you're jumping on bridges and things. You should always have a spotter on the water before you jump. Just make sure everything's kosher, but because you never know if there's a log or something floating. Because I mean, it was just wrong timing, I guess. No, someone jumping off a bridge over land and on a boat, cow floating. Yeah, I mean, it probably happened. That's what happened here 20 some years ago. Some guy jumped through a blowed cow and got a couple ribs stuck in him through the rib cage. So I'm sure it happened. But still got to find out whatever happened to those two guys down there in the south. Though they got brutally abused and hung from a tree because they kind of like whitewashed that off the news. That would end up being a dead story quickly. That nobody really, because I guess they were investigating the town sheriff's, the whole police department over the matter, and you just really didn't hear anything about it. So I gotta look more into that because there wasn't a lot of YouTubers talked about it, and the news kind of whitewashed it, and and it was really weird. If something like that happened, you think that would have been a bigger news story, but nope. That was a couple months back, but I haven't heard anything about it since. It was just kind of like a 2-day bleep, and that was it. It was, they never had any kind of breakdown or breakthrough of it, or. So I was watching a Notre Dame's video last night, and I got to thinking, they always say Notre Dame, he's predict the future till like the year 4000, right? And I think what happens with his predictions is not that he actually physically predicted it, it's that people try to conclude what has happened to his predictions, Because there's a few similarities, but it's not like dead accurate. This happened this day, the end of the world's going to be this day, No, I don't know. I like watching Notre Dame's videos though because they humor me. It's kind of like UFO clips. I like hearing about the UFOs. The one that was really trippy to me though is where they think the moon is the Death Star, and that's kind of because apparently the moon didn't exist till 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago, and it's magically appeared in the night sky. So that one was kind of weird to me. Grumpy, I'm gonna zip to the beer store and all right, Eric, drive safe. Don't have too much fun. I'll probably be here for a few more minutes longer, I guess. If not, I'll come back on later today. Right? The moon's the Death Star. We shall find out when we build the moon station what it really is, I guess. But and I guess Jupiter's coming apart, or they're having a weird storm where Jupiter's ripping itself apart. I don't know. Some of those NASA videos, I don't know if they're AI or they're real or whatnot, but kind of be nice to know, in particularly about all that. All right, Eric, I'll be here for a little bit longer, and if not, I'll catch you on the next live stream. So I'll probably make another one today. Oh, oh, have some more entertaining things to talk about. All right, maybe. I don't know. Oh, booger butt, booger butt, booger butt. Hey, I got 4 likes today. I'm amazing. Get that up to like 4,000 likes. Get it out into the algorithms, and now I'm talking to myself, but that's all right. I still got to find that spindle for that 3-wheeler axle so I can get that welded back on. So I can start riding the 3-wheeler around the property. Well, I do need to go out to the other property and bring the other 4-wheeler in, but the 3-wheeler is kind of cool. It has an old tractor seat on it. It's kind of like it's a Frankenstein basically. I'll have to take pictures of it. I I'm not sure if it was. I think it actually came this way. They actually built it this way, but because I have 2 3-wheelers. I have one that actually has a motorcycle engine. This one has a lawnmower engine. It's like a trail 3-wheeler. Like the old trail bikes that you like ride around music festivals and things like that. You wouldn't really take it off road, be extreme with it, but it goes about 15, 20 miles an hour. I mean, so it's kind of cool. I mean, how fast do you need to go on the farm? No. No. But I know I need to take that boat and move it over there. I need to get that tractor dragged out and drag it back, get that other tractor pulled out and park next to that tractor because I like to start swapping parts and make it easier. Well, I mean, all I gotta do is jack that one up, put the tire back on, start it real quick. It'll move under its own power, but the boy lost the keeper key for the front axle and then come with a lug nut, so we broke a tire off. I have the tire. I have the lug nuts right here somewhere, so I don't know, but that's what it is, I guess. So that one I want to use for the farm. The 8N I want to use for the farm, but I want to turn the 9N into like a show tractor. I was watching this video the other day. And this guy had it all chromed out. It was cool as hell, man. It just he tricked out a tractor. You know, instead of having the knobby farm tires, they went to kind of like a just a regular street slick on it. It was badass. It was like, man, that's kind of cool. Well, he invested a lot of money into that tractor. He was probably into $100,000 in that old 8N, but you know, get me some gangster freaking spoke wheels for it. That'd be cool as hell, Old tractor with spoke wheels, just kind of right. I could be wrong. I think it'd be cool as hell. I like old things though, you know, old cars, old tractors, old Willie Jeeps, old semi trucks. Actually, my biggest thing was when I was a kid was old semi trucks. I loved old semi trucks. When I was in my teen years, we were rebuilding a 1961 Super White Mustang. It had the old half moon windows, the big old butterfly doors, had a gas engine in it, had the 5 and 4 transmission. It was cool as hell. I wish I could have kept that truck. That truck was pretty awesome. I always wanted to finish it. We got about halfway into it, and then life circumstances ended up happening. Had to end up getting rid of it, but that was a cool truck. Well, originally what I did is I had bought an old 1500 Lodestar International, little 2.5 ton. And I was going to put the old white cabin hood on the International, because just to make it a little toter out of it, you know. So what? Because I didn't really need the whole 10-wheeler at the time. I just was trying to turn it into a show truck, you know, just so I could go into some of those old farm parades and things like that. No, which I think they should have here in town. They should have like a Christmas farm parade, you know. I mean, technically we're a beach town slash farm town, you know. So, but if I get the tractor going, get me a hay wagon, I might do that this Christmas. I might join into the. I think we have a Christmas parade. Well, you know, I guess we do. But it's mainly they just have the fire truck and. But no, I think it'd be kind of cool to have take the old 8N down there with an old hay wagon, have people throw candy at the kitty kids. Wow. Speaking of that, so when I was young, I think I was 5. My dad got invited into a biker parade, and me and my brother got to sit on the back of the lumber truck with all the bikers, and looking got a big old fat guy was up there on a bike, and we were tossing candy. That was cool as hell. I mean, got to be in the biker parade, you know, tossing out candy. The big fat biker up on the bike though, there was a whole bunch of cops, and he was just throwing the candy at the cops, banging the cops. You know, they're just laughing. You're hitting me with candy, you know. It was priceless. It was pretty awesome. I mean, things you remember about your childhood, you know, that you kind of put it in the back of your mind, and you know, you're like, man, that was an awesome memory, you know. About the go ahead. Hey, welcome back. Man, that was a fast run to the beer store. Did you do like 400 kilometers an hour? I got in trouble in Canada my first time in Canada because I wasn't kilometers and miles per hour. You know, I might have been going a little bit faster than I probably should have been going. You know, and 80 kilometers an hour, I'm like, hell yeah, 80 miles an hour. You know, stupid American that I am. So, yeah. Oh, you took a pedal bike. Oh, well, you know, you need to get with my son putting a little motor on that thing so you can go like 40 miles an hour, pedal ass. And you know those electric bikes? I was working with a guy over in Wisconsin. He had one of those electric bikes, and you know, you pedal to charge it up, and then you put it into the battery mode. And he said that thing went like 45 miles an hour. Today was my worst day. Oh, Gator, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You're supposed to start waking up more happiness. Yeah, it's probably a common mistake that speed difference of different measure. I mean, yeah, I mean, well, America, we go on the standardized math, and everybody else goes on the metric math, and so, you know, and the cop was really nice, and I was like, you know, all I saw was 80, and I was going 80, but you know, 80's only 50 in Canada, so you really gotta. I think we had this discussion yesterday. You know, you should really learn the culture of the country you're gonna go visit to, so you don't have so many mistakes. Morning argued with the parents, afternoon argued with the staff, night had all alone. Oh man, why are you arguing with people? That doesn't get you anywhere. But I know I've learned that lesson a few times. Arguing with people does not get you anywhere. So, what's the old saying? You got to pick your battles. But, you know. But like hell, here in America, though, we have states where you can go 80, 90 miles an hour. So you know, it's and you know, in these newer cars, going 90 miles an hour, hell, you don't even know it. You're just kind of like, nah, you know, we're just. But and now in my old pickup down the road, 90 miles an hour, you feel like you're going back in time. You're like, you know, it got the old. I got to replace all the bushings and things on the shocks and realign have it realigned and all that. But yeah, 90 miles. You know, you're doing 90 miles an hour in that old pickup. But I rented a car here, well, about 2, 3 years ago, and because I didn't want to fly, so I drove back from Kentucky home and at least out of I rented a brand new car. Yeah, I was coming back at 90, 100 miles an hour. Shit, I didn't even know I was doing 90, 100. newer van. It's all computered, and it was all computered. And I got a couple like this brand new, the newer Subaru on the road is computered, and the newer Ranger is computered. But a lot of the actual farm trucks actually drive into town to go get hay and stuff with no, they would survive through an EMP blast. I'd go out there and start those bastards up. Because you should always have one vehicle just in case for an EMP. You know, if it's solar flare or man-made EMP, you should have that one vehicle that you should be able to start up and go. You know, because just for S and G's, you just have one vehicle that you know that no matter what, it will survive. It will survive the apocalypse. So, because you just really don't know. I'd want to go back to that area, but you know it stinks though. I mean, because a lot of people go back there, and I was watching a couple videos on that where people only bathed once a year, and women believed they bathed that it was bad for pregnancy. It was just, and they dump poop and stuff all out and no, I don't think I could. No, those charging stations, I mean, unless you got a fuel, because a lot of them, like I say, are run by diesel generators. So unless you got a diesel truck coming in to charge them. If you got an old diesel, though, the only good thing about having an old diesel is all your electric transformers have a liquid oil in them that you can run in a diesel pickup, so, or diesel tractor or whatnot. So I'm thinking, I was actually thinking, I mean, it is or isn't it legal, but transferring a couple of my vehicles to hydrogen, you know, because you can get the chemicals and put the hydrogen chambers that because you basically you just take the gas tank off and you put a chemicalized, it's like a 3-chamber system that just makes the hydrogen, and it burns like gasoline into your fuel injected system. So kind of like if you turned your car over, I mean, you got to change the manifold. So I mean, instead of it just being like for a liquid, you have to put a manifold on. So you compress the gas. So same with propane. You can transfer any gas car to propane. Just got to have the know-how and the wants to do it. You know. But I mean, if gasoline hits $10 a gallon, like they're saying over here in Washington, I might turn my vehicles to propane because the conversion kit's only like $35 to go from, and then I can either burn natural gas, and because natural gas is cheaper, same with propane, then it would be gasoline. I mean, there's always ways around things. Yeah, so we will see how things conspire in life. But I think we lost Gainer. But it's weird. Is I had a whole bunch of people jump on. I had like 50 people at one time, and they just kind of disappeared on me. It's like, join the chat. Don't just run away, weird people. You know, you got to stay more than 2 seconds before you know if you like the show or not. Uh, but no, those charging stations are. I'm totally, I'm not against electric cars, but I'm against the way that because battery is worthless. They've known that since the first ones they made in the late 1800s, that battery operated cars were just not sufficient. And here we are 100 years later, 130 years later, 120 some years later, trying to recreate the wheel, and it's not working. So, but I just figured why they can't. I mean, why they couldn't put little charging systems in the car themselves, so when the wheels are turning, it charges. It would never keep the battery at 100%, but it'd keep you at least above 75% while you're driving. Especially if you're at highway speeds. But I don't know why they don't do that or not. What teeth? I got no freaking teeth. I got them all knocked out a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah, I was playing Super Dad trying to save a vehicle from rolling down a hill. I don't recommend getting ran over by a car. It's not fun. I mean, I could put my veneers in, but I don't care. I mean, I just walk around all snaggly tooth, and it's not like I'm trying to pick up a hot girl on the YouTubes. I'm just talking. So, but thanks, Faded. I'd say play hockey. I got the face for it. I mean, I do got the face for hockey, but no, I got ran over by a pickup truck. And it ran me over and it threw me, and then my face bashed into a whole bunch of rocks. And they didn't. They got loose, and then they fell out. I mean, they weren't knocked out, but it broke them loose from the gum, and so they eventually just fell out. That was about 6 months of my mouth was just swollen and pain, and so I mean, I wasn't like hurt, but I mean, you know, I got to learn to not play super dead and save shit. Just use the brain. Just get the hell out of the way, and because I'm more important than a freaking pickup truck. But I mean, because it rolled down to a little wash that I have on the property, and we towed it right back. I mean, so yeah. If the truck was empty, it probably wouldn't have been so bad. But the truck was loaded down fully with lumber, so it was a little heavy. And that freaking I couldn't just get the freaking door open. And they always show you in the movies. It's like running on trains. You don't run on stainless steel trains. Me and my brother and dad, we worked at this locomotive shop back in the early 2000s, and we had these Alaskan uh, RDC cars that came in, and they were a pure stainless steel car, and we had to have special shoes just to walk on this car. But you always see in the movies, you see these people run on top. You do not run on top of a stainless steel train. You slip right off. Garbage truck driver in Toronto got squished by his garbage truck. That does happen. That does happen. That and forklift injuries in warehouses. People get shanked right through them with the forks. There were a few freight trains across beautiful Canada. Yeah, but you didn't run across the top, though. I've jumped on trains when I was a kid. But but no, in the movies, you always see these guys, it's like, wow. Top of stainless cars are slicker and slick. especially if they've gone through if they've gone through a spray chemical where it keeps the stainless all shiny bright. But no, yeah, because we built it. We had to buy us these special traction shoes just to walk on the stainless when we were up there polishing and welding and things. But yeah, that was one thing I want to do though. I always wanted to just jump on a freight train. But I mean, I've jumped on freight trains and rode them across town, but I've never actually rode it across the full country. Yeah, probably was the same type of car, but I was running on top of grain car because it's metal, and top of grain cars they have uh, traction plates. Stainless is just pretty much smooth. I mean, they got the water ribs, so the water runs off them. But yeah, no, these RDC cars are slicker and snot. But well, like your subway cars and all that, they're all stainless steel, and they're slick. I mean, got to be all harnessed up and on a bridge crane holding you in place and walking around, and fall protection, which was kind of funny though because our fall protection we had on, we would have hit the ground before the slinky ever would have pulled out. So our tethers were a little longer than they should have been, I guess. But when you're trying to weld on things and you're moving around with, because you got the crane holding the welder here, and you're sliding this way, and then you're attached to so you got two cranes moving, so you have to have your lanyards longer than, so you can move around, but because you don't want to be like stuck trying to weld something, because you know. But I did enjoy welding. Welding was fun professionally. If I would have broke my neck, I probably would have stayed welding, but No, I just do it for a hobby. It's a everybody should know how to weld. That's my everybody should know how to weld. You know why? Because then they won't call me to weld something. No, no. Of course, I've burned up a couple good welders lately, though. Over the years, I've burned up some really good welders. Oh, I got me a new subscriber. Nice, perfect. I like new subscribers. Oh, I've done drywall. It's a horrible job. Horrible job. But I can drywall. I don't mind putting the sheets up, but when finished taping, that's when your skill comes into taping, mud and tape. So, because if you don't do it wrong, if you don't do it right, you can see every bubble and mistake in the once you're done. I actually got a set of drywall stilts. You put your stilts on, and so you can do the roof and walk around on them. But I think people should learn basic skills like wiring, and it's like my fancy multi-plug that I made. I think everybody should know a little bit of wiring, so you can get a plug step, so you can have multi-plugs for welders and RVs, and this should be a heavier extension cord, but I couldn't find my big wire. It's around here somewhere, but even when I was in school and I was in like shop class, mechanic class, and engineering class and all, they didn't really teach you anything. They gave you a book. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold that button. Hold that button. I like collecting old books, from the. Oh shit! Come back here. I like collecting old books from the past, because I think they actually teach you more. Like I got these how-to books from the old days where they actually give you proper mathematics and how to build things. And you got to get these books cleaned up. But this one's on roofing and framing. This one's on doors and window installations. This one's on plumbing and materials to use and how to, so. No, I actually found them in an old dynamite case on the side of the road. So, somebody had put them in an old dynamite box and they were just sitting on the side of the road. Well, my boy found them on the side of the road in an old dynamite box. So, yeah, I mean, some farmer was probably moving or whatnot, and he slid out the back of his truck. But I like old books. I mean, I think these are from the. Hold on, we'll see the date. That way, I'm not lying to you. But on the copyright them, these are from 1923. So that's when these books were made. Were 1923. I mean, somebody probably found them in one of the old farmhouses around here, and and they're like, oh hell, they could be worth some money, and then they just end up on the side of the road. People just like to dump crap on the side. My buddy Frank, dude, the guy's loaded. He has more money than he knows what to do with. He will see a bungee cord on the side of the highway. He will go back around and pick up that bungee cord. I'm like, why? He's like, you never know when you need a bungee cord. I'm like, yeah, but back then when I was hanging out with Frank all the time, a bag of bungee cords was only like $5, right? I mean, you got like 20 bungee cords. I'm not gonna waste $1 in gas to go back and get one bungee cord. I mean, set of truck tarps Oh yeah, I'll freaking slam on the brakes and back up a half a mile and get a set of truck tarps. 'Cause truck tarps are expensive. Some of those are like $2,500. And you can't beat a truck tarp. They make great hay tarps and things. But I ain't gonna stop for a bungee cord. But I mean, I have been known to. No, I actually think the bungee cord he went back and stopped and got was pretty weather tattered. When you pulled the rubber, it was pretty. It wasn't. I mean, but he kept it for the hook. So because I mean, you can't hang the bungee hooks. You can if you got like a pegboard, you can put them on there and hang your tools. And so everything has a purpose. But you know, driving down the road at 70 miles an hour and going, oh, bungee cord, and no, maybe for a rope or a chain or something like that, or dynamite box full of books, but right, I, I don't know. That's just what Frank liked to do. So I mean, hey Jace, what's going on, man? Welcome in, welcome in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But you know, it's just kind of weird, really. I mean, and I mean, I have found some cool treasures on the side of the road. I mean, that I've stopped and I've picked up. But they were more than just a bungee cord. But I mean, just you know, I don't know if I saw a toolbox sitting on the side of the road, I would slam on the brakes. You aren't buzzing. Oh, I mean, we are. We live like 150 miles away from each other. You, sometimes you meet up. I was just talking to my daughter about that. I should probably go over and see Frank and Josh and Frank and Yorsh. Go over there and hang out with them. But they got a big dairy over there. Well, I'll probably when I decide to go get some cows, I'll probably go see Frank and Yorsh and see if they have any bull calves for sale. Maybe a milk cow. I don't know. Yeah. Any cool abandoned buildings in your? Yeah, I have a short clip on there. There's a old haunted house that I showed the other day on a short clip. That as soon as the farmer gives me permission, I'm gonna go up and do some ghost filmings in it. Go up there and see if there's any ghosty ghosts we can find. Of course, I'm gonna go packing because there's a big pack of coyotes up in that area. And I don't want one to bite me in the butt when I'm walking through the house at night. But but yeah, it's an old farmhouse that was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s. There's an old church up on top of the hill too, but I got no phone service up there, so that had to be a pre-recorded video just to post afterwards. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to edit on videos and add voiceovers and things like that. So everything is a learning process because I never thought to myself, hey, you're going to be a YouTuber. So you got, hey, American Ben, what's going on? Welcome back. I never thought about, ever becoming a YouTuber. Now I am one. So now I have to learn how to be a YouTuber. So, it's kind of fun. I like it, I've met some interesting people. I've made some good friends. So now they don't. I mean, the pups came on the property the other day, but I went out and popped off a few shotgun shells, and they haven't been back since. So just give the old boom, 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 and they go, they run away. But there is a big pack up there by that house, and so even when I go hiking up in the mountains and things, I go loaded because I have played with the big kitty cats and the bears and things like that. And um, I actually have it's a non-lethal round. It shoots these big rubber balls. It'll put you down. I mean, it shoots at like 1,500 feet per second. So they're non-lethal. I mean, but they will break through a 2x4. So, but they're designed for, they're actually a non-lethal round for a bear. So it's just a, you just pump them in the head a few times, and they'll run away. But that's kind of like, when the police shoot, they use the rubber bullets. Basically, it's just an oversized rubber bullet is all it is. So I mean, it'll break a rib cage if you get popped with it. I mean, they call it non-lethal, but I mean, I'm sure if you hit somebody in the right particular place, I'm sure you could probably end somebody with it. But you know, and then I have one that shoots. No, I can't find it because now that I'm talking about it, I want to bring it up. I got one that shoots these quarter-inch steel BBs. It's also a non-lethal round, but I mean, it'll hurt like hell if you get tagged by it, though. So, but oh shit, I just had a whole bag of the damn things. When you try to show something and then you can't find the damn things, you're like, what the hell? Oh, here it is. Is that one? Yeah. Yeah, it shoots these oversized BBs at a good rate of speed. It's a non-lethal round, this one's kind of dirty because it's been sitting in a cup holder and getting covered in coffee and Monster and beer, but it's just an oversized BB gun for non-lethal rounds. It's a deterrent, really. But even for the people that don't like guns, having a non-lethal round, in your home, it could protect your life, And people are on the list on banning guns. The government just said they were to each house to get your gun. Right? I mean, that's like here in America, we have a lot of guns. They're never going to get them all unless they freely go and give them up. Nobody's going to just, I mean, because we have a registered list of new firearms, and then we have the unregistered list of firearms that people have had forever and a day, and back before. And then we got people that have 3D printed guns and all that. And then you got this government. You got ghost guns. You know what a ghost gun means? It means a non-serial manufactured gun that was privately manufactured for non-sale, versus a manufactured gun that is required by federal law to have a manufactured serial number. They overzealous on the whole term of it. It's just like, you guys are dumb. Governments are dumb. I mean, if you can get them to work right, hell yeah. More power to you. I mean, you can buy the 3D printer. You can buy the setup for them. It's always good to make sure you check all your measurements before you actually fire out of it. But I mean, there was a YouTuber here a while back that was showing how to make 22s out of a spring, a 2x4, metal brake line, and a nail. So it strike. I mean, it was a single shot 22, but yeah, you can make just a few household items. You can make a 22. Or a homemade shotgun, just a steel pipe and a ramming pin. You put your 12 gauge in there, pow, pow. Quick load, pow. It's. I mean, you can't really stop guns because you can make a gun pretty much out of anything, really. I mean, and if you're a machinist, you can rifle the barrel yourself. So I don't know. I think that if a government doesn't trust their population with guns, there's something wrong with that government. So that's how I look at that one. From jumping topics, have you been to Green River? I've been to a lot of Green Rivers, I've been to Green River, Utah. I've been to Green River, Washington. I've been to Green River, Connecticut. Which Green River are we talking about, Eric? I mean, there's a lot of Green Rivers. So sorry, the Green River. Okay, yeah, I've been there. I've been all over Washington. Been all over the Northwest. I like to explore. Yeah, I've been there. I like to. I get bored and I like just to pack a lunch or just fill up the car and just go on a weekend drive. And if I get places that I can't get home that day, I'll get a motel or I'll sleep in the car. Because the big Durango, I can lay the back seats down, blow up an air mattress, and get me a little blankie and a pillow, and so. Typically, though, I'll just sleep in the car. I won't. I mean, there's no reason to spend $100 for a motel room if you're just going for a 2 day trip. There's no real reason to, because you can stop at any campground and take a 50-cent shower. So it's not like I need to spend $100 for a shower and a bed when I can put a bed in the car with a blanket and stop at a campground and just take a 50-cent shower. So that's and do you really get stinky after a day? And if you have to, just jump in a river or something with a natural bar of soap so you don't pollute the fish. You know, I mean, we've all gone on hunting excursions where you don't bathe for a week at a time. So that's okay. We're men, and men are stinky. And we're okay with that. Well, what do you do? And you're supposed to have good hygiene, but shit, it wasn't until probably the 1960s, 1970s when people actually took actually regular baths, where people were still bathing just once a week for church. But right, I mean, stop at a mud puddle and clean yourself off, or go to truck stop, spend a few bucks for a shower. And shit, most truck drivers, shit, they'll get you a free shower because they get it with their fuels. And like, here you go, boop, you get a free shower. I picked up a few hitchhikers where I bought them showers and things, just so they can clean the road dust off them. You know, I've never been rude and had to Febreze anybody yet, but that day might come. you know, psh, 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 you stink. Whoa, just driving the window down, but you know, oh, they can be. Well, there's some states here in the United States that we actually have showers at our rest areas that you can pay for. They're like $2 or 50 cents, $2, something like that. So you're not spending 10, 12 bucks at a truck stop for, yeah, I mean, and a lot of our rest areas, we have Wi-Fi internets and, sitting rooms and, concession stands. And so, hey, Steven, what's going on? So, normally you get to the more red states, you get a lot cooler rest areas. Here in the blue states, our rest areas are kind of boring as hell. You get a pop machine, and since COVID, they no longer have the church groups coming out giving free coffee and cookies like they used to, which I really miss the free coffee and cookies. Put a couple dollar donation into their church group. They give you cookies and coffee, and that was cool as hell. COVID screwed everything up. Damn you, COVID. So now they won't let them open the. Yeah, up down I-5 and 84 and 90. They had rest areas. All the rest areas. They had church groups coming. They'd give out free coffee and free cookies and sometimes donuts, whatever the church decided that they wanted to donate to the community. But I miss the good old days. You know, Modern days are very un. People are very unfriendly in these newer times. I mean, It's like trying to strike up a conversation with somebody at a grocery store. People just don't want to talk to you anymore. You know, clerks don't want to have a conversation with you anymore. They want you to go use the self checkout. And I don't want to use self checkout. I don't want to use your stupid kiosk machine. I want to sit there and I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to take my order. You know, I want you to personal human interaction. You know, we've lost human interaction because of the internets and all that. Just people doing their own thing, and now you got people suing Facebook and YouTube and all that because now they have an addiction to online because they refuse to have human interaction. It's like you caused your own problems. Now you're suing the people. It's like, what the hell? But you know, I want to hear a trippy COVID story. I don't really know a lot of trippy COVID stories. I mean, I got married during COVID. I mean, that was pretty trippy and scary. You know, they were putting such a well, I got married and divorced all during COVID, so I guess it was a hurrah hurrah at the end. You know, it was win-win for me. But I do miss my stepkids. My stepkids were cool shit. I miss my stepkids, but you know, the ex-wife not so much. No, but I miss the kids. They were cool beans. But, mm-hmm. I got talking and I had a memory going on in my mind. That was kind of funny, but oh, I know my buddy. She was living down in Florida, and I mean she wasn't feeling well, and she went to the hospital and they forced her to take the vaccine, and she died in the hospital same day right after the vaccine. So government was digging up the Amish every time they went through because they didn't used to have because they didn't use electricity. They found out when these papers came. I think I think the Amish have it right. I mean, depending what um, clergy you go to in the Amish community, because some Amish you can still drive cars and things, and then the other clergies you can only no electricity, no modern day anything. I got to use the cart and buggy for life, but yeah, you got a lot of Amish. You know, they're modern clergy. You know, they have cell phones, they use GPS, they have some forms of tractors, and you know, kind of like the German Baptists. You know, they're kind of like the Amish, but they're more modernized. But they still wear homemade clothes and things like that. But no, she's been gone a while. I mean, we were friends for God forever. She was cool, but you know. Actually, I lost a few friends during COVID right after I took the vaccine. That was probably one reason why I never took the vaccine. And I was very big against the vaccine. I told everybody, don't do it. Don't take it. It's not safe. Oh, I'm sure they will. You know, because they fall under certain criteria where they have protect constitutional rights, and the government always likes to overstep their bounds and bully people. I don't know why. I mean, your job is to protect us, not to bully us. But you know, oh, people went nutty during COVID, man. Just nutty. It's like I walked into a bookstore with my daughter, and I didn't want to put on their stupid mask because I mean they didn't have no blue light HEPA filters in their ventilation system. I mean, so wearing your stupid paper mask wasn't going to save my life. And this little 5'5" tall guy's like, I will show you to the sidewalk. If you feel frisky, little man, let's go out and. I remember that. So we never ran out of toilet paper because we found certain stores that sold the big commercial rolls like that. But me and the ex-wife and the kids, we went down to the hardware store and they had a stack of phone books, and I'm like, so I grabbed like 4 phone books, and the ex-wife was like, "What's that for?" I'm like, "Toilet paper. Might be a little rough on your butt, but it'll get the job done." I mean, just You know. Well, if you they were never those paper masks are dust masks. They're you know, and a virus is a smaller particle than a dust mask. And you know, people weren't using proper PPE anyways. I mean, they'd get their dirty ass hands and they'd touch their face and then they'd put that stupid mask in their pocket. Then they'd put that stupid dirty mask back on. Well, no, if you weren't washing your hands, taking the mask off, re-washing your hands, put a new sterile mask on and washing your hands again, you were not following proper, so you were just infecting yourself anyways. And then you had all those stupid stores selling those reusable masks. It was just, it was total bullshit titties. I mean, it was. I think only probably a small percentage of the world population actually followed proper PPE, you know, for actual proper safety, and you know, when it came to, you know, but no, you had all those people with those stupid reusable masks they sold at the store. The whole thing was a joke. I think it was a conspiracy by the frickin' pharmaceutical companies and mask companies to get people. They made a lot of money on a whole bunch of hypocrisy that, you know. I've gone through chemical training and all that, where respirator training and all that, and the proper putting your suits on. And you know, that was my thing about COVID. If COVID was as dangerous as they say it would be, everybody would have been walking around in a hazmat suit, you know. They, if it was going to kill you as fast as they said it was going to be, you would have had to have been, and I mean, even the medical professionals would have been completely just, the whole thing was like, just, it was bull crap, you know. But it put a lot of fear into people, and so many people were so willingly to give up their rights as humans just because, oh my God, COVID, you know. Because I don't know how many deadly pandemics we've gone through that they've never shut down the whole world over. And, you know, SARS-CoV-1 they discovered back in the 70s. SARS-CoV-2 was no worse than SARS-CoV-1. You know, if Lysol will kill it, I mean, and the same amount of people were dying every year just from the common cold and the flu. Actually, more people died from the flu and common cold than they died from COVID. So, herd mentality, exactly. You tell one story enough times, and people start believing the hoopla over it, and it caused mass hysteria, and everybody was just like freaking. I wasn't, you know. And definitely my son wasn't, because he was licking everything during COVID because he's a knothead. But I mean, but I never caught it. I never had COVID. I never got sick. And I went to some of the hot spots during COVID, and I was around people with COVID. They were sick. I never got it. So either I got a really good immune system, or I don't believe that COVID was as bad as they say it was, you know. It's kind of like January 6th. I don't know you know much about January 6th, but January 6th was the biggest bunch of, it was an overly extreme protest that got out of hand, and a few bad things happened, and one gal lost her life. But you don't break into the U.S. Capitol. You don't bust through those doors. It's physically, I mean, you can't even drive a car through those freaking doors, and you expect me to believe that humans push through those doors when you can't even drive a damn car through them? Come on. I came from a bat lab. It was engineered by the Chinese and American governments and a couple other world governments as a biological weapon. It wasn't made from no stupid bats. It was, and all those people that were in that lab every one of them should go to prison for crimes against humanity. Every one of them, because it was a biological weapon, which violates so many Geneva Convention rules that, well, we know it's a biological weapon. We have the data, we have the proof, but for some reason, nobody's freaking getting charged with crimes. You know, that's the problem with our governments is, you know, they violate so many rules, and then they're like, oh no, we didn't. It's okay. No jail for you because we're government. Piss off. That's we know there's a biological weapon that they made. They took SARS-CoV-1 and they mutated it to make a deadly virus. We know this. That came out in all the congressional hearings and all that they did it. You know, so why haven't those people gone to prison? You know, the worst thing that came out of it is they made political theater about it instead of actually, and they kept saying, "We know the science, follow the science." Well, then 5 years later, the science comes out that everything they said was a lie. So, did they really follow the science, or did they want you to follow the political theater? I mean, they were. So you could go out and protest during COVID, but you couldn't go to church. You couldn't go see your wife or child in the hospital for having a baby, but you go out shoulder to shoulder out and go and protest. I mean, really? Come on. They were just suppressing people to make them feel that, you know, the whole thing was hoopla. Well, it's kind of like Joe Biden, like on the bird flu, right? So they wiped out millions of egg laying birds, but not the meat birds. So what, does bird flu only affect egg layers, not the meat birds? I mean, because we eat a lot of chicken in this world. They didn't kill any of the meat birds though. They only wiped out the egg layers. I call a whole bunch of right. And it was like down there in Sunnyside. So they could track the cow that was purchased in Canada that had the mad cow disease to Canada and destroy that cow and didn't have to wipe out the whole herd or the herd in Canada itself. But they knew where that cow came from, right? They could track that cow, his destination, everywhere that cow had went. They knew exactly where that cow went. But then they can't find a world terrorist. Yeah, exactly. You know, you can track that cow that had mad cow disease that came from Canada to the United States to what Pacific Dairy was purchased from, back and forth. But it, you know, it was like my buddy's sheep. All the sheep got scabies, and they had to wipe out the whole herd because of scabies. You know, which is a brain disease in sheep. But so like 200 giant protests because one. Exactly. It's just we live in weird times. People are nutty. What up, man? Our friend from India. How's your day going? Oh, you know. Well, and you know what's weird to me? What's weird to me is so you come to Western societies, right? And we have so many issues of diseases and viruses where apparently it's killing us all. But you go to these third world countries and, you know, they're more polluted and it's dirtier. And you know what I want to ask? What do you want to ask, my friend? And they seem to be just fine, you know? So, I don't know. It's weird to me. What's your question, senor? Oh, hopefully my phone doesn't die. Yeah, I'm good for. I still got 47%. Oh, my favorite friend. I'm gonna come to India and I'm gonna come fart on you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on a plane. I'm gonna fly over there, and I'm just gonna come fart on you personally. That way you'll be happy that you got farted on my grumpy. And keep eggs. Well, yeah, because we only refrigerate eggs here in America. You go to other countries, eggs will, because I have farm fresh eggs that I don't refrigerate for 12 days. As long as you don't wash them, the egg is health. It's fine to eat, you know. But for some reason over here in America, though, that they wash the eggs, and once you wash an egg, you close up all the pores on it, and you know the egg is only good for so many days, and And I think we actually, by washing the egg, I think we caused a lot of salmonella issues and all that because we trap everything inside the egg instead of the egg being able to breathe and because and you can always do a float test on an egg. If you think the egg is too old, just put it in a glass of water. If the egg floats, throw it away. If the egg stays on the bottom, it's still feasible to eat. It's the easiest way to do an egg test. That way, the egg itself's not rotten. It doesn't have gas in it because a gassy egg will float. I mean, it's pretty much. I wonder if they wash the egg prior to getting anything. They do. They go through a washing process. It's part of our FDA here. You got to wash all eggs. They got to be kept at a chilled temperature. They got. It's like this guy I worked with. So you go to a lot of your fine food restaurants, fine meat restaurants. They dry age beef steaks up to 60 to 90 days to 100 plus days, depending, for the marbling of the steak. And you eat this steak, right? And sometimes they might look a little black. They're not kept in this nice, they'll cut the top of the steak off and then you eat the bottom crust. But we had a set of steaks in the refrigerator for like 5 days. Like, man, that's gross. I'm not going to eat that. I'm like, fuck, I'll take them home. I'll go and put some dry rub on them, let them age out for another 20 days. And, but you're going to be back. All right. We'll see you when you get back. But you know what I mean? I think, shit, society lived off salt pork and beef for thousands of years without refrigeration, and we had less people die. Now that we got refrigeration and food processing and all these government agencies to keep our food safe, we got more foodborne illnesses that come out of it. It's like, and I think a lot of it's caused by what we feed the animals. With all this genetic mutated food, it's causing the majority of our issues, and the excessive amount of medication we dump inside them. No, because I have drinking warm goat's milk right off the goat, just right in the, just to drink the heavy cream. It's not so bad. You seen the person Morgan when he eats a delicious steak in front of it? I did. If somebody wants to be vegan or vegetarian, more power to them, right? But don't try to tell me I need to be a vegan or a vegetarian. I will be more than graciously respect that you're a vegan and you want to be a vegan. Fine, that's how you want to live your life. I like meat. I like cheese. I like butter. I like mixing vegetables in with my beef and stuff to make it better. Oh, I dated a fake vegan. She was, she was trying to be a vegan, and then she never could get to the whole vegan and stuff. She did it for more of a dietarial thing to lose weight and things like that, but not really. But you know, it's like if you want to be a vegan, be a vegan, but don't. Don't